Hello everyone, I'm doing a quick video today about head tilt in guinea pigs. The reason I'm doing this video is I saw a video recently where somebody was explaining that head tilt in guinea pigs is always due to blindness, and that this isn't the case, so I thought I'd just talk about that today. So before we get started, this is Dax. There's nothing wrong with Dax, but she is the sort of sister of Nutmeg. Now Nutmeg isn't actually related to Dax, they just love each other very much. Nutmeg's 6 months old. A few weeks ago, at 5 months old, I came home from work to find that Nutmeg had a serious, severe case of head tilt. Thanks for that, Dax, just wind her up, that's fine. Now you can see that she still has a bit of a tilt here, but when I found her, she was standing on her back legs, but she was lying at the front with the right side of her head on the floor. Her eyes were flickering a lot, which indicated to me that she was very dizzy. I instantly took her to the vet. If you notice that your guinea pig has head tilt, it's really important that you act fast, because if you don't, it will kill them, it will be fatal. As you can see, there's nothing wrong with Nutmeg or her appetite now, but one of the side effects of head tilt is that they do become nauseous, which means they don't particularly want to eat. Don't you dare, Dax. You're staying down here, missus. Thank you. So it's important that they eat. If they don't eat, their gut will shut down, and that does lead to death. Okay, so there are 3 primary causes of head tilt in guinea pigs. It's much more common in rabbits, which is why people don't always realise it's entirely possible with guinea pigs. The first possibility is a stroke. Now, we know Nutmeg hasn't had a stroke. She was only 5 months old at the time, which doesn't rule it out but makes it unlikely. But also she hasn't lost any motor control in her legs, and she hasn't lost her sight. Another cause of head tilt in guinea pigs can be something called E. caniculi. E. caniculi is bad, and it's more often found in rabbits. It can pass from rabbits to guinea pigs, which is one of the reasons it's best not to keep rabbits and guinea pigs together. Fortunately, things were narrowed down a little bit for Nutmeg, because one of my guinea pigs was already recently tested for E. caniculi, and once one of them's got it, it's pretty much going to spread through your entire herd very quickly. It can sit dormant in their system for years before it causes a problem, and it's not necessarily a problem, but generally speaking, given a weaker immune system, you can get this head tilt. So it's important that you go to the vets as soon as possible. The third cause, and the reason that Nutmeg has head tilt, is she got an inner ear infection. There are 3 ways to get an inner ear infection in a guinea pig. The first most common way is that you can have a situation where they have an outer ear infection that doesn't get treated. If your guinea pig shows signs of having fluid coming out of their ear, or their ears are very sore, it's important that you get them treated very quickly, because otherwise that can lead to this inner ear infection, which causes the head tilt and the dizziness. In Nutmeg's case, this wasn't what happened, which was a bit confusing. The second way that they can get an inner ear infection is through an abscess in the mouth. The vet checked, and there are no abscesses in Nutmeg's mouth. She has very healthy teeth, which of course you can keep your guinea pig's teeth healthy by feeding them hay as a standard part of their diet, and grass, as they're just demonstrating here. So we ruled that out as well. And the third and final way that they can get this inner ear infection, which is what has happened with Nutmeg, is she has on one side a perforated eardrum, which basically means there's a very tiny hole in her eardrum. It doesn't really affect her hearing very much. It does explain why she's a bit louder than the other guinea pigs, not that she's showing that off now. And that's how the inner ear infection got in. So the vet treated her by giving her an injection of antibiotic. She's still on a course of antibiotics now, and she had painkillers as well. She had Metacam, which is a painkiller. and she had Septrin, which is a paediatric suspension of antibiotics. So she's pretty much recovered now. She's probably never going to not have this little tilt in her head, but it's not actually a problem anymore. As you can see that she's getting on very well with Dax. She's eating and she's put on weight since that's happened, so I'm really pleased with how she's recovered. But you can probably tell from the way she's behaving here that she is fully sighted, and there's, apart from that slight tilt of the head, there is nothing wrong with her. Okay, so I'm going to move on a little bit now and show you some other guinea pigs. Little ladies down here. Come on, darling. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Right, so down here, as if by magic, I'll just nick a bit of grass off these guys. Sorry. Right, here we have 2 more of my little piggies. The teddy on the right is Kitty, and there's nothing wrong with Kitty, except that she may be a little bit too fat. She's not pregnant. People always ask if she is, but she's not. She's just a pig. And this lady here, hello darling, this is Copper. And Copper, as you'll notice, has no trace of a head tilt, if Kitty will get out of the way. But Copper is completely blind. Oh, bless you, Dax. Swallow it, don't breathe it in. You right, baby? Okay. She's thinking about jumping. Don't do it, Dax. Don't do it. Okay, keep an eye on her. So Copper is completely blind. She was blind before I had her. I had her when she was a baby. I had her at 4 weeks old because I had her mum as well. And she suffered a really serious eye infection in both eyes. And that cost her sight. You can see, if Kitty's not in the way, that she hasn't got this head tilt that some people think always accompanies blindness. She functions really, really well. She's just like a normal guinea pig. Guinea pigs classically don't have fantastic eyesight anyway, they're only very short-sighted. It's important for Copper to sort of sniff your hand before you pick her up, because it's very easy to creep up on her by accident. She's very, very friendly. She's always at the front of the hutch to see what I've got for her. She knows my dad brings the treats more than I do. I think she can hear the girls up at the top. What is it? You don't know them, do you? She's lived with Kitty for a long time. She and Kitty get on really, really well, and Kitty's always looking after her. I mean, when I first brought them out, you probably saw her grooming Copper a little bit. So they're really close. Again, they're not related, but they live in a group. But they're very close, so they always stay together. It's important in one sense to have things like the bedroom compartment and different hides and things like that in the same place, because she can smell where the food is and she can smell where the water is, and she does function more or less the same as the other pigs. It's just a case of trying to avoid creeping up on her. Investigating each other now, aren't you? But yeah, she's much the same as the other pigs. I mean, it's difficult to tell from the video, but her eyes are kind of cloudy. She's got no light perception or anything, she can't see anything. But she's a very strong guinea pig. She's a nice weight. She certainly makes sure she gets enough to eat. And she's looked after by the other guinea pigs. It's a kind of a common misconception that guinea pigs will be aggressive to members of the herd that are weaker. There is a pecking order in a group of girls. Copper is by no means at the bottom of this pecking order. She's actually quite high up. She's one up from Kitty. I mean, Kitty makes sure she gets a good looking as well. Sorry. Yeah, so there's nothing additional in her care that's needed, and there's nothing really wrong with her apart from that she can't see. So that was just a little video about head tilt and blindness in guinea pigs. They're not necessarily the same. They can occur in the same animal, but their care is different, and obviously, you know, just like us, we all come in different shapes and sizes. And yeah, so it's just a little bit of information. If you've got any questions, please comment, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And yeah, to all our special little furries. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye. Say bye, ladies.